Welcome back to Where Potters Walk. It's 20 minutes of Stoke City chat, and this week we're asking our panel, is this the worst season that they can remember? Many fans didn't stay in their seats for the lap of honour against Sheffield United. We'll get the panel's view on just where they place this season, and of course we're talking about the last day permutations. How can Stoke City go down? Is it beyond the realms of impossibility? We'll get the panel's view on the likelihood of it. We're talking about next season's away kit. What would we like it to be like? And our favourite away game this season was, as of course, the Potters finish on the road against Derby County. Welcome back, Liam, Ryan, Carl, and Adam. The full team is back because I'm guessing we're a little bit nervous. How are we all doing? Just as a show of, let's just do a quick thumbs up, thumbs down. How confident are we that Stoke are going to be absolutely fine come 2:30 on Saturday? Oh, God. Right. Let's jump right into it then. We'll ask you in a minute, as has been the worst season on record. Let's look at these permutations. We kind of put this tweet out a minute. So, Liam, we would need a Hull win, a Luton Town win, Preston to better your result in any way, and for you to lose, of course, at Derby. Somebody's put a 5 on it, which is, crazy odds. Liam, I know stuff like this has happened to Huddersfield in the past, but even stuff like this doesn't happen to Stoke, does it?
It's happened the past 2 weeks. Every single result that could go against us in the past 2 weeks has gone against us, including ourselves capitulating against Leeds, dropping out goal difference down massively, which was like an extra point, but now we're behind teams. It's going to be a nervous one.
Ryan, you were confident when I asked you before. What makes you so confident where others are saying it's the most Stoke thing ever? This is going to happen.
It is. It would be, but I think the results. I think I've seen with 16-1. I know the odds are sort of in our favour more than other teams, and I think Preston are worse than us, to be honest, and in Hull. So I think we will be okay. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, Adam, is that a sad indictment, even what Ryan's just said there, of where you're at, that you're going to stay up because two other teams are worse than you are?
Yes, we've been circling the drain for too many years, and this one's as close as it comes. I think Ryan's right. When I look at that table, I think Preston are the one that worry me the most. You look at the form of all the bottom teams, and with the exception of us lately, everybody else seems to be picking up points, but Preston can't seem to get a point from anywhere. So I'm hoping that they're the one that are worse than us come next Saturday.
Yeah, I think they've got the hardest game of all of you, haven't they? Away at Bristol City, you're probably going to need something. Yeah. And Carl, let's be honest. I mean, you've just played Leeds and Sheffield United, two of the best sides in the division. Before that, your form was decent, wasn't it? Especially at home.
Yeah, we've been on a good run, really, at home. We just completely folded against Leeds. I didn't expect win. I know you expect your team win every time they should go on the pitch, but they just completely folded and it just smashed the goal difference to pieces, didn't it? I mean, that for me was what was keeping us safe, our goal difference, but that was a massive dent and the results just forever go against us every single week. So, yeah, I think I'm hoping Preston do worse than us, which I think Bristol need a win, don't they, for secure playoffs. So I'm hoping that goes in our favour.
Yeah. I mean, look, as soon as you hear a pomp that Portsmouth have scored on Saturday, you and both Derby can just knock it about for 90 minutes, Liam, can't you? You know, you can have that kind of old gentleman's agreement. You don't score, we don't score, we'll both be all right, yeah?
We could do. I mean, I just get the feeling that Portsmouth have had an unbelievable home record and then it'll all go to pot this weekend just because we need them to get a result. It's just the way, it's a Stoke fans mentality. You know what I mean? It's just, you can't get away from it. And like Adam said, we've been circling the drain for a few seasons. Cardiff have been doing the same. They've fallen through the trapdoor finally. It kind of feels to me like if it's not this season, it'll be next season because nothing changes. We just keep doing the same thing. So maybe we're just biding a time at this point anyway.
All right. Ryan, Mark Robbins came in for a little bit of stick on on social media of the weekend. SC Black says, Mark, I've been one of your biggest supporters, but tonight and on Monday were both terribly managed games. Genuinely, what were you thinking playing Lawler in the 10 and bringing on, when the game is in the balance, Gibson on and Wilmot to right back was a more sensible decision, surely, says Daniel. You know, a man off ineffective and both on at the same time are a complete luxury. Do you agree with all that? Has the manager got these last couple of games wrong in some selections?
Yes and no. I think he's panicked due to we're back down and we did have players come back, and then all of a sudden I think we had 2 injuries in one game, and then Ben Pearson's now injured. We're got no depth, no players. I think it's just a case of you've just got to do what you can with what you've got. It's like, you do what you can with what tools you've got. And unfortunately, he ain't got many tools, and he's got to use what he can. And it's just, he panicked, I think, a bit.
Adam, do you agree?
I slightly disagree with the tweet. Well, although we've not seen a great deal of him, I think he was probably the one saving grace from that game. I think he was half decent. Can see, that he hasn't played a lot of football this season. And I think what Robbins was trying to do was, Lowell's been, when he's come on in 5-10 minutes in that position, he's let the game pass him by. And I think he was looking for the experience of Baker just to sit in front of that defence rather than Lowell being run around again, because he isn't the quickest. You can see he's physically strong, but he isn't the quickest. So I think that's what he was trying to do. But yeah, the overall arching point that we've been unlucky with the injuries these last 2 games. He's had to make changes, and you look at our squad depth. There's nothing there. What can he do? To a certain point. So so it's a difficult one for him for sure. I don't think many people would have disagreed with the starting lineups from either game, if I'm being honest, either. So it's just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it?
Okay. Cheers for that, both of you. Wouter Berger, Carl, many people were tweeting that's probably the last time we may have going to get to see him at the Bet365, or likely see him. Miles says, "It's been a pleasure watching this fella play football for the last 2 seasons, although I fear we've seen the last of him." Carl, do you get that? Do you get that impression that this is maybe the last time we've seen him?
Quite possibly, yeah. I think he nearly went in January, barring us again failing to get somebody in place of him. I hope it isn't the last we've seen of him. I think he's a sort of player that you need to build a team around. When I watch him on the pitch, you can tell he's a leader. You can tell he's well liked in the dressing room. But in our situation, the financial situation, if it is, then we need cash in on him. I don't know. I can't remember what sort of contract he signed, but he could go higher and he can do better than Stoke, let's face it. So we need money to reinvest. So if it is the last time we see him, let's slap a decent fee on him, get a good fee, and hopefully find some gems, because I think Robbins has done that in his career with quite a few players. So, yeah.
Ryan, do you agree? And how much would you want?
I agree. I think it would be horrible to see him go. I love him. Some people have different opinions on him, but I just think he's class above. He can do better, at least top end championship team. And we need money, because we're in a situation now where it's looking like we can't even spend anything in the summer. And if that's a case of selling Berger, then it's got to be done.
Okay. I want to get your view on this particular tweet we saw around this being the worst season that people can remember in a long time. I know you've had some bad ones, but people have often said following that result, this season has been joyless. I saw one person put out. Liam, you tweeted yourself that this is the first season, I think, in 12 years, you said, or something like that you didn't stay for the lap of honour. I know you weren't the only one. Why did you choose not to applaud them?
I think you have to put it in perspective with some Stoke fans that we have pretty much watched one big season now for the past 8 years. It has been the exact same season with 500 different players and 15 different managers is what it's felt like. So at the end of the game, I wasn't expecting to beat Sheffield United particularly, but they made 6 changes. They had nothing to play for. They didn't have to get out of second gear, and I'm looking at Lewis Kumas wandering around the pitch for the last 5 minutes. I'm watching some of the players there, and I just think I aren't staying here and giving you a lap of appreciation. If anything, it should be the other way around. The fans should go on the pitch, the players should go in the stand and give us a round of applause for some of the absolute rubbish that we've had to watch. I mean, for some players who may deserve people staying back, but this situation now I've done for the past 8 seasons in a row where it's been just awful. There's been very little during the season. We have this little pickup, like you said before, after Easter, around Easter time, where we decide, we might want to stay up this season and have a little run. It's not good enough. It hasn't been good enough for years, and you can't see anything changing anytime soon. That's the problem.
Yeah. I don't want to get your view on this. Archie says, without doubt, the worst season we've had in my lifetime. Not one player we have is consistently good enough at this level.
Fair enough. Last line.
I tell you what, Stoke fans have got the best sense of humour. I've got to give it. That. Right, Adam, go on. How's this season compared to? Has it been one of the worst? I
agree with what Wayne said. It's been one repetitive season for 8 years running. We've had, if you look at every season, it's literally a rinse and repeat every season. We have 1 month of every season where we look half decent, so we all get a little bit giddy and think we're onto something. The last month of last season, April, May, we were good and we had that win, that not losing period. I think when Robbins first come in, but after he'd settled in a little bit, we had that period where we went unbeaten again, we're good, but then it always turns back to this, and you look ahead at next season and you just can't see it changing. I don't know what the answer is. Well, I do know what the answer is, but it's unlikely to happen. The running of the football club just needs to change. That's what needs to happen. If we carry on the same with John Coates just constantly doing this rinse and repeats, then it'll be the same again next season. If we don't go this season, it'll be next season for sure.
Carl, do you agree with when people say this has been the worst season in living memory?
Yeah, I think so. I've seen some rubbish in my time, but even though I have seen some rubbish, I've always seen players that have given it their all. I don't feel like this lot have at times. I think we've got some quality players, but I don't think they've shown it. I don't think they've shown the potential. And I also think we've been a shambles from the top as well, which has made it worse. I know we've been a shambles for a while, but I mean, we thought we were onto something with Schumacher. He had his first couple of games. I aren't going to say we'd have been in the playoffs. I aren't going to say we'd have lifted up trees, but we looked steady. And then they go and sack him and put in our good friend, Mr. Palak. It's just been a disaster from the top right the way onto the pitch. It's just filtered through the whole way. The Palak. No, I can't talk bad about him because I'm sure one day he will make a good coach. It was just the wrong person at the wrong time.
Yeah. Lots of those tweets were followed up with things like this, Ryan. John Waters is a genius. Please move him on before he causes any more damage. Ryan, what needs to happen in the summer for you? I mean, at every level here: board, training ground, stadium, under 21s, under 18. What is the fundamental things that need to happen this summer for us not to be here again?
The first thing is the running of the club. Not so much John Coates, but I think maybe bring in someone who knows how to run a football club. Probably get rid of John Walters. Unlikely to happen. We've got Premier League training grounds, so that doesn't need to change. We've got facilities actually being worked on at the moment. The stadium's fine. It's just we just need a togetherness, and that's what we haven't got. And we just need the connection back, and we need players who want to feel that connection, because at the moment they're just running around like headless chickens.
It's the culture for me. There's no culture at the club when Peter Coates and you can say what you want about Tony Scholes and Pulis were there. They seem to have this culture of a club of we're not the best. We will never be the best football team. We will never have the best players. However, we will outfight you. We will outrun you, and we will outgun you. That was what that team was built on.
And make the grass.
Could any of us? Yeah. Well, could any of us sit here and say, what are we trying to do? What is the culture of our club? What is the identity of our club? There isn't one. And if you look at any club that's doing well, they seem to have a culture or a statement or a mission statement or a plan. There isn't one at Stoke. And I think that's the whole thing that's gone wrong from the minute John Coates took over 8 years ago to being relegated. And here we are, with him changing his mind every 30 seconds to how he wants to run the club. And it's
It doesn't feel like there's a foundation in place to start building a house. And your first thing of building a house is to have a foundation. And we just, I don't know, we haven't even got a quarter of a foundation laid.
What they do is they look at other teams and they look at other things going on and they go, we want the best. We want the best of whatever we can get. That's what we want. So, everyone's after Tom Cannon. Let's go get Tom Cannon because everybody's after him. We get Tom Cannon. Like, are you going to play in a style that suits him? Oh no, we haven't thought that far. We just wanted,
exactly.
We just wanted it because everybody else wanted him.
Okay. Cheers, you guys. Derby County then this weekend, Carl. First of all, I hope you're going to train on us on the beach this week because their pitch, if you saw it against Luton at all, it is god awful.
I haven't seen it. Is it that bad?
It is shocking.
Giallo.
Is that going to be a leveler? Do you think? Well, it will be a leveler because they're used to it. You're not.
It's going to be absolutely perfect for our lot because I'm sure they've been on the beach half the season. In fact, all season. So we should rock up and win 6-0. No, I don't know. I'm not confident at all. I think every team that I see underneath us, I see more fight in them, more desire. The fans are willing them on and they're running into every challenge. They're winning all the second balls. And I just don't see our lot doing that. So I'm honestly banking on Bristol City doing a number on Preston so they can secure the playoffs because in terms of next week, we're taking 3,500, I think. I think the tickets are like gold dust. I tried to get hold of one at 4:00 in the morning and I could not get one. Which I'm glad about now because I've had enough this season. But yeah, I'm just not confident. I just think Derby are going to beat us. I hope I'm wrong, but I just can't see any other result than probably a 2-0 Derby, and we'll be relying on everybody else again for get us out the mire.
It doesn't help as well that we've got no left backs, no right backs. Pearson's injured.
No.
It's come at the worst time. Thompson's injured. No, everyone's gone down with it. So.
Pearson and Thompson have been absolutely class since they've come back, and you can tell the difference when them pair are missing. It shows because we're so lightweight in midfield without them. Baker can't do his role that he wants to. Berger can't do the role he wants to. And that is down to them pair being injured. And unfortunately for us, it's come at a bad time.
It's weird to hear that about Pearson as well because the amount of slander he got. And he's come back in the team and shut some mouths up, to be fair.
I think if anybody had said that, if anybody had said Thompson and Pearson would be our most important players of the season at the beginning of the season, none of us would have believed it, would they?
I would have said what you're drinking.
Yeah, I think I can go back to some of these podcasts and find nearly all of you having a go at Pearson at some point this season. Right. Finally, this one, a little bit of fun. We want to ask you about the home kits and the away kits for next season. This is already in the bag, but Liam, is there anything you'd like to see on the away kit colour wise or anything on the home kit? I mean, hopefully the
championship badge on the arm.
You beat me to it.
I don't know what they're going to go for because we've gone all black and bright pink within recent years. So I don't know. Maybe a blue one, maybe a blue away kit this time.
I feel like we're running out of colours.
Yeah.
Most of the time for a blue one.
Yeah.
And that purple, that zigzaggy purple, what we brought up as one of the worst kits earlier on in the season, bring that back.
Yeah.
We were good back then.
Yeah.
Right. Cheers for that. And it's the final away trip. Now, most of you, between you, you've probably nearly covered all the other 20 22. So, of course, we've got to ask you what's been your steady on now. What's been your favourite away trip this season? Your favourite away result away from the Bet365? Carl, I know you've probably watched nearly all of them or been to some. What's one sticks in your mind?
Although we didn't win it, I thought we gave a good account of ourselves, and it seemed like a turning point in the away game against Coventry. I thought we were really good. We really battled that game, and I thought for the first time you can see Mark Robbins' stamp coming on. I know we lost just by that last second when Jono just didn't throw himself in front of the ball, but I enjoyed that game. I thought we gave a good account of ourselves, so I'd put that one down as probably my favourite.
Ryan?
I've got two, to be fair. Hull away and the Cardiff one of recent, because that gave us a glimmer of hope, the Cardiff one, and the limbs that I've seen in that away, and after watching it just looked fantastic, and we started to believe. I mean, unfortunately we're back where we are again, but in the Hull one, Al Hamadi's debut scores. It was just a great away day.
Brilliant. Adam?
Yeah, it's got to be them two, hasn't it? You know, you don't pick up any points at them two games and we're already relegated, right? So to beat your rivals or your relegation rivals away from home, and that's got to be the highlight of the season, really. And that sums up the season we've had, right? That we're talking about games that haven't relegated us by now as being the highlight of the season. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It really is.
They were just a 1-0 win as well. I think both. Well, I can't remember the whole one, but obviously the Cardiff one, only a 1-0 win.
Was it two, the whole one? No, it was one, wasn't it? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Both 1-0 games, and they seem to be the most exciting ones.
Good stuff. Liam, finish this off.
Yeah, I'd go Hull as well. It was 2-1. We went 1-0 down, and Al Hamadi scored, and then Moran scored right at the end.
Yeah, I remember now.
Which Stoke coming from behind to win a game, especially away, it is rare in these past few seasons. So it is. Leeds away as well was a good one.
Yeah, for the first 3 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Right. Cheers, you lot. I have to ask, because obviously, it's happened this weekend. Any message of congratulations to the Burslem lot?
No.
Okay, good.
I funny enough, my granddad's a Vale fan. I've been around to see him today, and the flag's up, and I actually pulled it down when I got there. just to get it out.
Can we stop as well? Any Stoke fans that watch this on X or Twitter, stop saying fair play to them. Well done, I wish them well. No, we don't. Yeah. The best thing that could happen to them is they get liquidated. We knock the stadium down and we build houses named after ex-Stoke players on it.
Especially after some of their players are also saying they were out in Burslem last night saying F Stoke, who's that team down the road? So who's that other team down the road?
Okay. Right. Well, let's hope that by this time next week when we meet again, you'll still be one division apart. I'm sure you will. Right. Enjoy. You're not going to enjoy the Derby game. I don't know why I'm going to say that. It's going to be hellish 90 minutes for any Stoke fan watching that. All right. Come on, Portsmouth. That's what you need. All right. See you next week.
Cheers.